Then on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about game time?
Oh, I'm probably about a 20 right now, as we've got a lot of action from tonight. Great, no lightning delays this time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of great action that we got from Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, and Abilene
All over the map.
all of West Texas.
Yep, awesome.
Place like West Texas and no coverage like this. Welcome to Game Time West Texas. From Midland and Odessa to Abilene and San Angelo and everything in between. If it happens on the field, you'll see it here. It's Game Time West Texas, sponsored by Midland College. When it comes to high school football, there's no place like West Texas and no coverage like this. Welcome to Game Time West Texas. From Midland and Odessa to Abilene and San Angelo and everything in between. If it happens on the field, you'll see it here. It's Game Time West Texas, sponsored by Midland College.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. I'm right here.
Yeah, mic check. I look terrible. My hairline's gone. 1 2 3.
Let's set it on fire. Let's set it on fire.
Game Time West Texas, sponsored by Midland College.
Welcome to West Texas Game Time. It's largely believed that the most growth for a team in a season will be from week 1 to week 2 after seeing what does and does not work. So let's see what teams from the Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, and Abilene areas made those leaps tonight and which need to continue their development. We start with Corey McIntyre, who's out at Panther Stadium for our game of the week between Fort Stockton and Alpine. Corey, who was able to get their first win of the season?
West Texas, you're lucky I love you because I'm currently getting rained on to give you all you need to know about this week's game of the week. So coming into this match between Fort Stockton and Alpine, there were a lot of questions, such as who will fight the hardest? How will these teams look after coming off of losses in week 1? And finally, who will get in the win column? Well, it's only one way to find out. Let's start in the first half. The Alpine Bucks versus the Fort Stockton Panthers. Now this one should be interesting. Bucks start off with the rock and they will go nowhere on their first offensive possession. After a 3-and-out, the Panthers offense wastes no time getting on the board. Jerry Diaz finds Nicky Sotelo for the 43-yard bomb, and the Panthers up 7-0. And with such a tone-setting offensive drive, the defense matches their energy. After a mishap in the backfield, they swarm the ball and push the offense just 10 yards away from the end zone. And I think you know what's going to happen next. The Panthers hand the ball off to Nick Almendares, and he will walk it in for the touchdown. Panthers up 14-0. And Alpine's offensive struggles will continue. Day Hardwick tries to find his man on the dead route, but Jordan Overa reads it like a book and picks it off. The Panthers just putting on the show. And Jerry Diaz will cap off this drive with his legs for Fort Stockton, increasing its lead to 21-0. After the Panthers put yet another 6 on the board, the Bucks need to answer, and this is one way to start. Hardwick rolls to his left and finds the man wide open for a huge gain. After the first quarter came to a close, Day Hardwick would finally get the Bucks on the board after finding his brother, Tay Hardwick, on the go route. The Bucks make the score 28-6, but the Panthers would stay in control of this one and go into halftime at 42-6. Now, after a huge win by Fort Stockton, they officially get their win in the win column and they improve to 1-1, while the Alpine Bucks remain winless with a record of 0-2. Reporting to Fort Stockton in the rain, I'm Corey McIntyre.
All right, thank you, Corey. I feel nice and dry here in the studio, but both Wink and Stanton are also looking to get into the win column, but the Wildcats have a tight grip on this series in recent history. Wink is going for a 6th straight victory against Stanton, but it's the Buffaloes who stampede first. Luis Anaya matches his red jersey to the red end zone as Stanton jumps in front, but watch out for Kamad Fashawn. He had over 2,000 rushing yards last year, and he bounces outside here and stretches for the pylon. 40-yard touchdown for the Wildcats to even it up. Buffaloes, They fire back. Great use of the open space. Isaiah De Leon finds Vaden Pastrana, and he breaks away 31 yards to the house. Wink, they're not too far behind. Gunnar Voiles throws to the corner for Cade Frerick. 2-point conversion ties the game as well, as that final is Wink goes on top 44-20. Ira Ann and Odessa Compass each hoping to start the season 2-0 in the Braves home opener. There they are walking out, and Veolis Terracero is a Cougars' best friend for Compass. Cason Smart gets stopped, but Terracero pushes him past the goal line for the 15-yard touchdown assist. Ira Ann responds in the air. Prater Schneeman hits his man Christian Boutron and flips the field. 67 yards puts the Braves in the red zone, and Schneeman caps it off. Not much of a push on the tush, but he's in for 6. Compass stays in front with a missed extra point, and the Cougars extend the lead. Mason Hicks finds Braxton Morris. He breaks away for a long touchdown as Compass hangs on for a 21-18 victory. And Midland High riding a 3-game winning streak versus El Paso Pebble Hills in this series, but needing win number 1 on the season. Bulldogs defense providing the spark early. Gilbert Delgado beats his man for the sack. Spartans forced a punt, and this is not a great situation. Ball goes whoop, sails over the punter's head and out of the back of the end zone. First points of the season for Midland are a safety, but the offense won't come out onto the field just yet. Jordan McGowan looks to be close to down, but the ball comes free and the Spartans recover, but the defense sets the tone again. It's the senior captain Robert Harden stuffing the runner for a loss, and on the next play, Lucas Ramirez, he brings the boom, popping the ball free, and Felix Ceballos with the recovery, but it's El Paso Pebble Hills that wins the turnover battle 13-12. Coming up, we have our big 3 games from Ector County, Abilene, and San Angelo after the break. Let's take a look at some scores. Odessa High had a 2-win season in 2024, but one of those wins was against Bell. Stephen Pepper is at Ratliff Stadium as the Broncos try to snap its 7-game losing streak at home to the Blue Raiders. Stephen?
Yeah, Ethan, Odessa High looking to get their season off to a better start after that blowout loss last week in Amarillo. And coming into Ratliff tonight was LD Bell High School. If you remember them, that's the team the Broncos took care of last season to open. So, can Coach Hartman's squad take care of the Blue Raiders again? Let's take a look at those first half highlights.
It's the home opener. It's homecoming. But can Odessa High bring home their first dub of the season in a match against LD Bell High School, who they beat last year? But the Blue Raiders haven't forgotten, and they want to set the tone early as they do some trickery on the opening kick. And it not only fooled the Broncos, but the cameraman. And they take it all the way to the house for the opening score. Broncos' second drive now, 14-0 Blue Raiders. Quarterback Joe Ortega rolls out to his right to deliver a jump ball to the tall receiver Aramis Rodriguez for the touchdown. Blue Raiders make it 21-7, so how does Ortega respond? Trying to make something out of nothing and finds his man Rodriguez again for the first down. A few plays later, 3rd and goal for the Broncos. Can they punch it in? Running back Aiden Garcia has it in the lineman, tries to give him a push and knocks it out. The Blue Raiders recover. Oh no! LD won't stop scoring. Can the Broncos stop the avalanche? Ortega launches the sideline. It's picked off one-handed by Travion Taylor. The Blue Raiders would add a 60-yard field goal to end the half, and the Broncos go into the locker room down 31-7. In Odessa, Stephen Pepper for West Texas Game Time.
Well, it didn't get better for the Broncos in the second half as they start 2025 0-2. You can just tell from the jump the Blue Raiders wanted to be a more physical team, and they accomplished that. Your final at Ratcliffe, 51-13 LD High over Odessa High. Ethan?
All right, thank you, Stephen. It's the 65th annual Crosstown Showdown in Abilene. 65 years, that's almost as old as my dad. The Cooper Cougars and the Abilene Eagles squaring off at Shotwell Stadium in a rivalry that runs deep. A 30-minute rain delay meant a slick field from the start, and it showed. On the opening drive, Eagles' Braden Henry looks deep, but it's picked off. Watch right here. Watch this. Whoop! Oh, nice tip right there. Kamari Titus of Cooper comes up with the interception and taking it 40 yards the other way. Flipping momentum early. The Cougars waste no time capitalizing. Jaden Carrillo drops back and finds Tavius Collier. A beautiful deep ball in the end zone. Touchdown Cougars, and they strike first, but the Eagles answer back in a flash. A play action fake, and Mahel Boso turns on the Jets 60 yards to the end zone for the score, but a missed extra point keeps them behind. But that's a final. Abilene, they storm ahead 42-20 from there. All right. San Angelo Central lost a tight one to Amarillo last season, but looked to return the favor in the Bobcats' home opener. And after kicking week 1 up with a loss, San Angelo welcomes back the Bobcats, and they are ready to roll. Amarillo kicks the game off with Jet Lopez handing off the ball to Jude Donovan, who manages to wiggle through the Bobcat defense and run it all the way for a touchdown on the first drive and getting a 7-0 lead. After a bit of a back and forth, the Bobcats respond. Peter Kigiania airing out a long pass to wide receiver Carmelo Amiglio. We watch this catch. That is a nice, pretty ball right there. He's in the end zone. Tie game, 7-7, and the clock is coming down, and we wait and see as Amarillo looks to worm their way into the red zone and into the end zone again as Lopez finds Oliver Parsons as he's in. Touchdown, 14-7. Amarillo, they take care of business against Central, 41-21. And coming up, more action after the break from around the area as Big Spring looks to get in the win column. Let's take a look at some more scores. Welcome back. Big Spring was the site for the Howard County Bowl in Week 1, but it's time for the Steers to reclaim its turf in its home opener. Big Spring taking on Lubbock High. Welcome back Steers to their own field, but it's the Westerners who strike first. Bo Davis bursts through the defense and he won't be caught. House call for Lubbock to take the lead. Big Spring, they answer right back. It takes a convoy of Steers, but eventually they find the end zone to take the lead and they are rolling. Later, Marcus Rios takes a shot. Jacoby Lozano on his head. What a play by the senior to extend the lead, and Rios would strike again. He finds Kane Valenzuela for the score. Big Spring rolls to a 41-27 victory. And Ballinger makes its way over to Cristobal. Ballinger is moving the ball early. Coleman King completes a pass to Hunter Cresta to move the chains, and that sets up the running game. Colt Floyd near the Cougar 30-yard line as he takes off, gets tackled right there. Next play, King completes a long pass to Manny Gonzalez for another big gain, setting the Bearcats up for the score, and another big play by Gonzalez as he is thrown out of bounds inside the Cougar 10-yard line. And again, it's Gonzalez. We're talking about his name a lot. He's diving in for the touchdown on the Bearcats' first drive of the night. The Cougars had no luck on their first drive of the night as Tyler DeBusk completes a pass to Colt Floyd, but it's fumbled as the Bearcats set up for another touchdown on their drive as running back Pearson Nord breaks through into the end zone for another Bearcat touchdown, and Ballinger holds on to a 13-6 win. We got top plays after the break, but let's take a look at the scores from our earlier games. lot of great plays from around West Texas, but we had a few that stood out as our top plays. Let's take a look. We go out to Big Spring first. Jacoby Lozano. NFL just started. That's a Moss right there, and that is our first top play. Let's look at play number 2. A little bit of teamwork. Veolas Tercero